Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the project appraisal techniques related to the third unit of project formation and appraisal. The project appraisal techniques involves of economical analysis, financial analysis, market analysis, technical feasibility and management competence. Here coming to the economical analysis. Under economical analysis, the project aspects highlighted include requirements for raw material, level of capacity utilization, anticipated sales, anticipated expenses, and the probable profits. It is said that a business should have always a volume of profit clearly in view, which govern other economical variables like sales, purchases, expenses, and others. It will have to be calculated how much sales would be necessary to earn the targeted profit. Demand for the product needs to be carefully studied out as it is to great extent dealing factor of feasibility of the project concerned. In addition, the location of the enterprise decided after considering a growth of points also need to be mentioned in the report. The government policies in this regard should be taken into consideration. The government offers specific incentives and concessions for setting up industries in notified background areas. Therefore, it has to be ascertained whether the proposed enterprise comes under this category or not, and whether the government has already decided any specific location for this kind of enterprises come under these economic analysis of a project appraisal techniques in the project report. And coming to the next appraisal technique of a project is financial analysis. Financial analysis is one of the most important prerequisites to establish an enterprise. It is finance only that facilitates an entrepreneur to bring together the labor, machinery, and raw material or any other to combine them to make a finished good. In order to this, the financial variability of the project should be carefully analyzed on the aspects like assessment of the financial requirements, both fixed capital and working capital, and in the form of accounting. While speaking to the assessment of the financial requirements, like both fixed capital and working capital need to be properly made. You might be knowing that fixed capital, normally called fixed assets, are those tangible and material facilities which purchased once are used again and again. Land and buildings, plant and machinery, and equipments are the familiar examples of fixed assets or fixed capital. The requirement for fixed assets or fixed capital will vary from enterprise to enterprise depending upon the type of operation or scale of operation and time when the investment is made. But while assessing the fixed capital requirements, all items relating to the asset like the cost of the asset, architect and engineer's fees, electrification and installation charges, depreciation, pre-operation expenses of trial runs, etc. should be duly taken into the consideration. Similarly, if any expenses is to be incurred in remodeling, repair and additions of the building should also be highlighted in the project report under financial analysis. And coming to the in the form of accounting, in accounting, working capital means excess of current assets over current liabilities. Generally, 2:1 is considered as the optimum current ratio. Current assets refer to those assets which can be converted into cash within a period of 1 week. Current liabilities refer to those obligations which can be payable within a period of 1 week. In short, working capital is that amount of funds which is needed in day-to-day business operations. In other hands, it is like calculating money changing from cash to inventories and from inventories to receivables and again converted into cash. The activity level of an enterprise expressed as capacity utilization needs to be well spelled out in the business plan or project report. However, the enterprise sometimes fail to achieve the targeted level of capacity due to various business difficulties like unforeseen shortage of raw material, unexpected disruption of power supply, inability to penetrate the market mechanism, etc. Then a question arises to what extent an enterprise should continue its production to meet all these obligations or liabilities. That means break-even analysis give an answer to it. In brief, break-even analysis indicates the level of production at which there is neither profit nor loss in the enterprise. This level of production is accordingly called as break-even level. This comes under the accounting of the financial analysis in the preparation of a project appraisal. And the next one is market analysis. Here, before the production actually starts, the entrepreneur needs to anticipate the possible market for the product. Here, he has to anticipate who will be possible customers for this product and where and when his product should be sold. This is because production has no value for the producer unless it is sold. Thus, knowing the anticipated market for the product to be produced becomes an important element in every business plan. The various methods used to anticipate the potential market was named as marginal economics or demand forecasting, depending on the various elements, which include of the opinion polling method and life cycle segmentation analysis. In opinion polling method, in this method, the opinions of the ultimate users, that is customers of the product, are estimated. This may be attempted with the help of either the complete survey of all customers or by selecting a few consumer units out of the relevant population, which include of the surveys like complete enumeration survey, sample survey, sales experience method survey, or vicarious method survey. While coming to the next market analysis is life cycle segmentation analysis. It is well established that like a man, every product has its own lifespan. In practice, a product sells slowly in the beginning. Backed by sales promotion strategies over period, its sales pick up. In the due course of time, the peak sale is reached. After that point, the sales begin to decline. After some time, the product loss is demand and dies. This is the natural death of a product. Thus, every product passes through its life cycle. This is precisely the reason why firms go for new products one after another to keep them alive. And next, coming to the technical feasibility of the project appraisal is, while making the project appraisal, the technical feasibility of project appraisal also need to be taken into consideration. In the simplest sense, technical feasibility implies to mean the adequacy of the proposed plant and equipment to produce the product within the prescribed norms. As regards to know, it denotes the availability or otherwise of a fund of knowledge to run the proposed plants and machinery. It should be ensured whether that to know it is available with the entrepreneur or is to be procured from elsewhere. In the latter case, arrangement made to procure it should be clearly checked up. If project required any collaboration, then the terms and conditions of the collaboration should also be spelled out comprehensively and carefully. In case of foreign technical collaborations, one needs to be beware of the legal provision in force from time to time, specifying the list of products for which only such collaboration is allowed under specific terms and conditions. The entrepreneur, therefore, contemplating for foreign collaboration should check these legal provisions with reference to their projects, which involves of the technical feasibility of a project, the inputs may be covering of the availability of the land and site, availability of other inputs like water, power, transport, communication facilities, and availability of the services facilities like machine shops, electric repair shops, etc., which also to be considered as the anti-pollution laws, and availability of workforce as per required skill and arrangements proposed for training in plant and outside, and availability of required raw material as per the quantity and quality. And coming to the last project appraisal technique is management competence. Management ability or competence plays an important role in making an enterprise a success or fail. Strictly speaking, in the absence of managerial competence, the projects which are otherwise feasible may fail. On the contrary, even a poor project may become a successful one with good managerial ability. Hence, while doing project appraisal, the managerial competence or talent of the promoter should be taken into consideration. Research studies report find that most of the enterprises fall sick because of lack of managerial competence or mismanagement. This is more so in case of small scale enterprises where the proprietor is all in one, that is owners as well as managers. Due to his one man show, the management competency may be strictly not implemented, and it leads to the failure of a project. By this, we have completed the third unit of entrepreneurship, namely project formation and appraisal, in which we have learned about the preparation of the project report, contents of your project report, guidelines for preparing a project report, and project appraisal techniques like an economical analysis, financial analysis, market analysis, technical feasibility, and management competence. Thank you.